So we want to get all of our edges smooth, like a nice little beam. So I'm going to go ahead and start by chopping off the two ends that are all jagged. I'm just going to use a miter saw. If you don't have a miter saw, you can also use a miter box and a little handheld saw. They're usually about $10 at a local hardware store. And you can see how that little ledge on my vise now, the beam kind of locks in there. It just sits right on that little ledge, so it's nice and supported. You don't want to go too tight and mar up the wood or crack it. Now I don't have any planers in the office, so I'm just going to go with my belt sander, and I'm going to use that to go ahead and flatten out all of the surfaces and get as close as possible. You don't need to worry about having it perfectly flat as if you're doing furniture, because all this is going to be cut away. You just need it flat enough so when you're cutting away pieces on your bandsaw, you're not rocking, and also so you have a flat surface so we can go ahead and glue down our template of our bow riser shape. You also notice I have a vacuum hooked up to my sander so that way the cut down on the dust. I'm just using some wood glue to smear on the template. We have this template available. I made it in digital form for you guys to go ahead and purchase if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and smooth it on, make sure there's no air bubbles or anything that will make it rise up. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the general shape of my bandsaw. Now you'll notice I'm starting on the end, which is my 20-degree angle cut for where my limb will attach. And you really want to make sure you take your time on this initial cut because you want that angle to be perfect. The rest of the areas that are decorative, you can kind of get generalized because we're going to rasp those areas down. But the 20-degree angle cut where the limb will attach, you want to make sure are very nice and straight. You can see here I have my two 20-degree angle cuts cut on either side, and now I'm cutting out the more decorative part in between. Now I'm kind of going a lot faster in the decorative part, you notice, than I was before when I was cutting those 20-degree angles. I measured out the width of my ski, and I went ahead and marked that down on the wood, and I'm going ahead and just kind of cutting down and ripping off a small little sliver from the bow riser to make it more fit the width of the skis I have. And all I did for that was I marked points along the edge that were all an inch from the edge, and then I just kind of connected the dots and made a line all the way across. I'm now just going in and cleaning up a few last edges of the decorative areas and just getting those slivers down so I have less to rasp.